we now have Matt Gill, CEO of White Rock Minerals.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking the time to listen to the White Rock story. We're a little bit different. I think I'm probably the only resources company here at the conference, but I welcome you to come and have a chat afterwards, booth 12. We are ASX listed, as opposed to many companies here. We're a junior resources company, and we're into three great commodities: gold, commodity you want to be in right now, silver, and also zinc as a construction material. And in three great jurisdictions: Victoria, a project here in New South Wales, and a very exciting project in Alaska. We are ASX listed, so we have compliance obligations. I won't bore you. You can read that discretionary statement at your leisure. You will find it on the ASX, and it is on our website as well. So do your own research. I'm not giving you financial advice, but what I like about White Rock, and obviously I'm a little bit biased, three great commodities, as I mentioned: gold, silver and zinc. Three great jurisdictions. You know, gold uses wealth protection. Again, not financial advice, but I'd suggest that everyone should have a bit of gold in their portfolio. Gold and silver for jewellery, silver as a renewable mineral in solar panels, and zinc as a construction metal, a critical metal in the US, and our Alaskan project has about 1.8 billion pounds of zinc. Mentioned three projects, great jurisdictions, significant land package between those three projects, and that's important. One of the key assets of a small junior company is the land holdings that it has, and then also the mineral endowment within those land holdings. So we've got a great gold project in Victoria, famous history, 660 square kilometres. Victoria's going through a second gold renaissance. You know, Victoria was built in the 1850s on a gold rush, going through a great period at this point in time. I'll touch a little bit on that in my talk. Alaska, we're in central Alaska, 800 square kilometres. We've got a tier 1 project that has significant amounts of zinc, silver, gold and lead. And then lastly, not to forget, our cornerstone asset that the company listed on at Mount Carrington here in New South Wales, again, gold and silver. Commodity diversification, as I mentioned. So in terms of what does this actually mean, 800,000 ounces of gold, 84 million ounces of silver is about 2,500 tonnes of silver, and base metals. Now, you can do the maths, but if you take those ounces of silver and gold and zinc and lead and multiply it by the current spot prices, White Rock's in-ground value, metal-wise, is about $10 billion Australian. My frustration, but the opportunity, is the undervalued nature of our company, our market capitalisation, compared to independent valuations. There's a thing called ValMin, which is an internationally recognised valuation technique. You can see the value that they ascribe. Fundamental Research is Canada's largest independent research house, and then Henslow, which is an international but Victorian, there's a Melbourne office. So you can see a disconnect between independent values for the company and White Rock. My comment would be is even if they're half right, I'd like to think there's an opportunity there. If I had to stop my talk, I'd stop it there. I'd encourage you to come and have a look at our website, come and have a chat to me at the booth. I will now go fairly quickly through those three assets just to give you a bit of a feel. I understand that most of the audience is probably not technically minded, or I'm a mining engineer, but it might just give you a feel for mining, the importance of mining. I mean, there are only two true wealth generators in the world. It's mining and agriculture. You know, if it's not mined, it's grown, as they often say. Our capital structure, you can see that we're ASX listed, no debt, we've got some cash, we have a board of 5. Significant shareholders, our largest is a Denver-based precious metals fund out of the US, so they've done their own research. We've got 2 Zurich-based funds, they've done their own research. We've got a $1 billion private equity group out of New York, they've done their own research. So I think a shareholder or an interested investor should get some comfort, should do your own research, have a look at who else is invested in the company. Don't just believe me, go and have a look for yourself. So Woods Point, we acquired this project in August last year. It's 150 kilometres east of Melbourne, beautiful part of the world. That photo is what we acquired. We acquired a ready-made gold processing plant, a shaft, a winder. It's had production. We've got 25 people there on site. Why Victoria? As I mentioned, is going through a second renaissance thanks to a gold mine called Fosterville, owned by a Canadian company, now one of the richest gold mines in the world. What we purchased is a historical mine. It produced over 800,000 ounces at almost an ounce a tonne, 26 grams a tonne. There aren't many mines like that anywhere in the world. It goes down 800 metres, it's flooded below 10 level. We're working above 10 level. We're getting significant intersections, 1, 2, 3 ounces a tonne, albeit narrow. Part of the trick is the mining the narrow quartz reefs, leaving the waste rock behind. So that's just a snapshot of the upper area. We've got 4 identified areas that we're currently drilling. My comment would be, in this current gold price environment, great time to almost be starting production. That's our plan, to restart production sometime this year. An analogy of the mine, that's over 800 metres deep. There was an area above it and an area below it that's been mined, but not an area in between, and that's what we're currently drilling. So we're drilling from surface in that upper area, we're drilling from underground in that lower area. As I mentioned, we've identified about 4 areas already. But what's interesting and is as exciting, if not more exciting, is the regional exploration potential. We command 660 square kilometres of ground. That area has produced over 5 million ounces in its time, multiple targets, and that's the second prong of this story, is not only the in-mine potential, but the regional. And an example, something that the old-timers mined only 100 metres, hit the water table and stopped. We want to drill that, find out what's there. Red Mountain, geologists are very imaginative. Yeah, it's a red mountain. South of Fairbanks, significant land package, 800 square kilometres. What's very important is the endowment. 11 million tonnes grading, a couple of ounces a tonne silver, over 5% zinc, 2% lead, gives it a significant metal endowment that I've mentioned before. Great land package. Out to the right of that photo, out to the east, we've got this significant polymetallic potential. We've got last chance potential, it's VMS. We've also got a huge gold anomaly that we started some drilling, we want to do some more drilling on. So a great land package there. We've made a lot of discoveries. If it wasn't winter right now, we'd love to be drilling there right now. We've found areas where it's running 16% copper. You don't find that every day. As I mentioned, we're in central Alaska, great gold potential, all for drilling and exploration. And then thirdly, we don't want to forget our last asset here in New South Wales, and it's Advanced Gold and Silver Project. It's had mining, it's got a study, feasibility study, it's got resources, it's got a reserve, and we're currently being free carried through that with a joint venture partner. Strong financial metrics. It spits out over $30 million free cash a year once it's built, a capital payback of just over a year, and at current gold prices, that's under a year, and an internal rate of return over 100%. You won't find many projects like that. So look, I'd encourage you to have a look at the website, come and visit me afterwards. 5 great reasons, I think. I've touched on the jurisdictions. Board and management also important. Thanks very much.